Hey, thanks for joining us today. I'm back with Jeff, who is got some awesome things to talk to us about today. I'm glad we're talking because I wanted to share. I saw a tip, and I've been collecting every box that comes in that you can use it in your garden as a weed barrier. So I'm going to try it tonight. I haven't laid my mulch yet for the season. I'm a little behind, so I'm going to cut it out around all my little plants and place it in there in hopes that I won't have to weed the rest of the summer. So I don't know. Have you ever heard that?
I have. Not what we want our boxes to end up in someone's garden.
No, but
as long as they have a new life, that's great. I love
exactly.
it. So I got a good tip or two for you about recycling, right? Everybody has their opinions about recycling. So this is Hollywood's version of recycling.
Why do I care about paper so much? Because my life and career were built on them. Auditions, headshots, box line. I mean, the least I can do is keep it around. See? She gets it.
Ethan, empty, flatten, then recycle.
So that's Hollywood's version.
I love that. Retta's awesome. I loved her on Parks and Rec.
I didn't know there was a new term for it. Papertarian.
Papertarian. It's great. It reminds you to flatten it. That's one of the things I always get in trouble for not doing is flattening it.
Take up all the bin.
But
take up all the dumpster space. That's right.
I know.
But aside from Hollywood, then there's the other part of it which we end up experiencing, right? The reality, and usually ends up with something like this.
Oh my!
And there's the massive recycled corrugated matter that needs to be recycled. And what do you do with it all?
Oh my goodness.
Well, you start mixing it and making recycled corrugated.
Oh my goodness.
Now, mind you, I don't think these guys are wearing safety boots or safety gear, so I don't know if OSHA would approve of this.
No. It is a stark contrast between the Hollywood version, nice and glossy, and then this like sludge of.
I saw this and I couldn't resist. I had to share this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is something else. Look at that
Yeah,
slurry.
Don't tell OSHA.
No, we won't show them that. But that's like, it's fascinating. I mean, just the whole process of just recycling. And I know that you guys are retooling and making sure that you're optimizing your equipment that you're providing for use on those recycled materials. Because classically, they've been a little bit challenging for print, haven't they?
So exactly. Let me tell you what happens. All that stuff you just saw in that video, all that grinding and mulching and pulping and re-wetting and all that ends up in all these really nice fibers that make a good piece of paper getting fractured into smaller and smaller pieces. So you really end up with a weaker board, a less of a printable surface. So it's our job then to figure out how can we print successful on this board that's really not set up to be successful. So what we end up with is something like this, and you can see this in between the flutes.
Yes.
This is a highly recycled board. It's really not that friendly to print on, and you can see how the colors are really faded, and we probably smashed the board a little bit too, trying to print it and try to get the ink in the valleys of the flutes. Because you remember what corrugated is. Corrugated in the center of two different pieces of paper.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we have to deal with when people get into these highly recycled boards, and how do we do it? Well, there's different tricks and trades and all that stuff out there, but what we like to think of is you got to get the black on the back. And what does that mean? Dynamic Dyes has a cushion backing, and you can only get it from us, and it's black, and it's a hard durometer, which makes this now, instead of a cushion, just a buildup.
So that works with your I knew you were going to have one right there. I thought I saw it back there. Yeah. How does the hydrometer backing work with that, and then with that recycled substrate?
So it's a package deal. You can't have one without the other. So in some higher end printing situations, we'll use a softer cushion and we'll try to absorb the blow of the plate to get a nicer dot, a nicer finish when we go to print fine copy. But in this situation, we really want a good solid to cover this area. And we're going to use our plate material as well. So we want a really soft durometer plate. And this one is very soft. And we're going to pair it up with our vinyl if we can. We also have to remember there's the thickness of the machine that we're dealing with.
Right.
So we have a plate and the board to go through at the same time. And through that opening is the pitch. So we have to fill the pitch. If we go with a thicker plate, we can use that thick plate on our carrier vinyl, and then that will get us to our 280 pitch. Or if we're using a thinner plate, which we like to do, thinner, softer, then we'll have to use our cushion to build up to that 280 thickness for our pitch. So we'll marry those together and we'll get our thinner plate on top. So what we're doing is making a softer plate on the top that's going to hit those flutes and really get a good impression down in those flutes without crushing the top, because that's what it's about, keeping the structure intact.
You're not compromising the structure and you're not compromising the quality of how the ink then lays on it.
Correct. So if you want some nice blues without those lines, you got to have our soft polymer package.
You know, obviously you knew there was a need for this to develop this product that you could only use through you guys. And what's the story behind that?
Partnering, partner. So we needed suppliers. We also had customers who were asking for options, and there really weren't any options out there. So I had to get with our suppliers and trial and error and say, hey, can you guys do something different for me that you're not making now? Because we're trying to do something for our customers that may lead to something down the road. That's where this came from with the HD backing, the harder backing. And some of the polymer people came up with something as well. They were like, hey, I think we have what you might want to put with that package. And we had a couple good options, and we tried a couple things with some people, and we got really good results. So we introduced the package, and it's been selling like crazy because of this same issue. We're trying to get a nicer coverage with less mess and less effort and less ink if we can. So that's where this all came from.
And you're achieving it. You saw the need out there. You worked with your partners and your clients, and you get beautiful registration like on that.
So corrugated printers will appreciate this, a light orange color. It's screened. This is all dots in here, and there are no flutes. So
I love that it's all dots. It's incredible.
And all this is solid orange, and the lighter colors like this are really tough to get a good coverage on. And then you take the flutes out of it and you really got to hit.
Jeff, do you have anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I want to show one more thing since we're talking about recycling. I'll show you one more thing.
Yeah, I love it. Let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, I can't wait. What else have you got?
So also in the world now, everybody likes to be green and they like to do natural, more natural looks. So they're keeping to the craft color. But if we want to have fun with it, we're going to put some white on top of it to make these beachy colors come out of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the craft carton look will absorb the color and you won't be able to see these funner colors. So we had to put some white down on top of it, but we still got the effect we were looking for. Nice beach colors.
It's so cool, though. I mean, really, to be able to make something vibrant, brands have their specific color palette. When you tell them that you want to use, let's say, a red or orange in order for it to appear correctly. I don't know if that's what you did here, but it could send heart palpitations to that client when you start talking about changing their brand. But it's not that. It's working with, like you said earlier, partnerships. You're working with the ink vendor that you work with. You're working with the substrates. You're working with all these things together. and tying them all together so you get the best.
So
Yeah.
this beer company obviously spent a fortune with their marketing company to come up with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you tell them, yeah, well, we're going to have to change all that because it's not going to look good on craft. And they're going to say, whoa,
I know.
we just spent a fortune. So once you get them through the steps in the process to say, this is Flexo ink, it's going to absorb right in there and you're going to lose all your density and
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be what you want. So we can make a set of plates and make another set when you don't like that one. Or we can just go through the process here and spend a couple days doing the approval. And that's what we did.
So marketing folk out there, trust the process.
You got to trust
They
it.
will not guide you wrong.
Right.
This is their expertise.
Right.
Trust the process.
And if they don't walk you through the process, call us.
Right. Exactly.
We will. We
Right.
will.
Because I mean, it's typically they're working with the converter, and then the converter then comes to you guys to work through it. Most of your partners in that space and your clients in the converter area, you work with them, and that relationship matters.
Everybody can print digitally. Everybody can print on fancy magazine covers and all that stuff. That always looks good. But printing on a box on absorbent,
Yeah.
Recycled corrugated fluty stuff is really not what people are used to doing.
No, it's not for the faint of heart. You have to have that experience.
Real quick, I'll give you one more. This is a good one. It even says go green on it. Look at that.
Look at that.
They wanted to save money using a natural carton because their product is go green and eco-friendly. So we gave them something eco-friendly on a good-looking craft box. But again, we had to put a little white down, and we let some of the white shine through, and we let some of their photograph on top.
Jeff, thank you so much for sharing all of this amazing green advancements. And really, like I said, you have to trust the process and really count on those partners like Dynamic Dyes who are going to make sure if the solution is not right in front of us, we'll develop a solution.
Every challenge, you got to deal with every challenge that comes along. And if you can develop a new product to help and help the next guy and the next guy, that's great. And that's what we try to do. Again, you got to partner with people to come up with good solutions for them.
Yeah. I mean, the big ideas and bold impressions. And that's Dynamic Dyes right there.
That's us.
Jeff,
we'll be glad to help.
Exactly. Jeff, thank you so much. And if you guys want to get a hold of Jeff or Dynamic Dyes for any projects, head to dynamicdyes.com or leave a comment and we'll reach out. Thanks.